Hello, good morning. It is, well, for me, relatively early on a Sunday morning. It's about 10 a.m. at this point, so it's not early at all. But I've been prepping show notes and doing other stuff, so I've been at it for a while. My name is Lynn. Welcome to the Wayward Skein. This is episode 18. It is Sunday, October 14th, and I am so excited because Rhinebeck is 4 days away. Well, 5. We leave first thing Friday morning. I'm super excited, and I have to start packing because I have so many little bits and pieces that I need to put together to bring with me. I have this big box here. Sorry, I have hair sticking in my shirt. So I have this box here, and this is all bags of minis for my cabin mates. And friends who are going to be at Rhinebeck. So I've got a whole pile of those. And gotta remember my Rhinebeck buttons. So many bits and pieces. A lot of this, I have an actual little package that's going home with my friend Kate from Ireland. And she arrives tomorrow. I probably won't see her tomorrow because she's probably going to be a little bit jet lagged. And because they're 5 hours ahead of us, I think. I know England is 5 hours ahead of us. I'm not sure about Ireland. But so she's going to be arriving at Selma's tomorrow. And hopefully I'll get to see her before we go to Rhinebeck. But if not, no big deal. I'll just bring the stuff to Rhinebeck with me. But it would make sense for me to give it to her here because that way she doesn't have to take up room in her luggage when she goes to Rhinebeck that could be filled with with fluffy things and yarn and yeah. So I'm very, very excited about all the things. So I may be a little disjointed. I will try not to be. My tea this morning, because yes, the first thing I did was go out and brew myself a cup of tea. And I'm drinking it out of the little sheepy mug that Selma gave me, I believe, last year. Or the year, I think it was last year, for my birthday. And this morning I'm drinking Tea Pig's Superfruit Herbal Tea. I bought this at the grocery store on clearance, as you can see. Because it's expensive, damn it. And so whenever it goes on clearance, I pick it up and I buy whatever they have. I'm a real... People in my grocery store, not the one I work at, but the one I shop at, because I can't afford to shop at the grocery store I work at, they laugh at me because almost all my groceries have these pink stickers on them. I'm a sucker. I'll buy anything that has a pink sticker on it. It's how I manage to save money on my groceries, basically, usually. Because what's on sale that week is not always necessarily what I'm looking for. But I keep an eye out for the little pink stickers, and I usually manage to get about 2/3 of my groceries with little pink stickers on them, so most of my stuff is half price. Not that you really needed to know that, but anyway. I'm in an oversharing kind of mood, so fortunately I have nothing gross to tell you. I bought that tea probably 2 years ago, and I keep forgetting how good it is. I also keep forgetting it's in my kitchen cupboard, because that's not where I keep the rest of my tea. So this is one of the teas that my daughter is allowed to partake of, so I keep forgetting it's in there. And it's really delicious. It has hibiscus, elderberries, currants, black currants, bilberries, cranberries, and natural flavors in it. So none of the usual berries. There's no strawberries, no blueberries, no raspberries, no blackberries. So it's a really interesting flavor. The hibiscus gives it, really rounds it out nicely. So I very much enjoy it. This is a podcast about knitting. I do have knitting to show you. The last 2 days, that's all I've been doing. I didn't get much knitting knitting time earlier in the week. So I didn't have a lot of progress, and I was getting frustrated, and I was like, damn it, I wanted knitting time. I drove to work Thursday and Friday, so there was no knitting on the bus time. So the socks have not seen a lot of progress, but I'll start with those. And they're in my lovely little kitchen counter crafter bag from Java Jenny, which is my favorite because it's fall and I love my pumpkins, as you can see right there with my very classy cat cleaning herself. Just before I hit record, there were 2 cats. The one was sitting up in the window there, and then my daughter, and I just lost my needle. My daughter walked out of her bedroom to go to the bathroom, and the cat went, because that cat has decided that my daughter is her person now. So I've made a little bit of progress, not a lot, because I think I was about here last week. So I've made a couple of inches. I'm done with the gusset decreases. You can see them a little bit better on this side because this is the slip knit side. So I've made a little bit of progress. I'm done the decreases, and I'm into the body of the foot now, which I have another 4 inches or so to go. I knit until I get just beyond the tip of my middle finger, and then I start the toe decreases. I've discovered, I did an experiment this week. One day I wore 2 different hand knit socks to work. One had a short, I think it was a fish lips kiss heel, and the other one had the gusset heel. I don't care for the way the fish lips kiss heel feels. It is fabulous to knit, and some people with different shaped feet really, really love it. I prefer the way the heel flap and gusset feels, as does Rob. But Rob's never worn anything else, so he wouldn't know. He doesn't get a vote. But he has asked me to continue to knit his socks exactly the same, so his socks will always have a heel flap and gusset. I've experimented a little. I've tried a short row heel. I've tried, you know. I really prefer the heel flap and gusset. It fits my foot better. I do have a very tall foot, even though I have no arches. It's fat. I have a pillow of fat on the top of my foot. It's a really weird, it's hard to find shoes to fit. I can't wear tight shoes. I can't wear mostly leather shoes. I can't wear strappy shoes, and I can't wear shoes that are open for most of the foot because they really press up against that little cushion of fat on the top of my foot. Because you really need to know about that. So anyway, back to the sock. This is the Celestial Sock Test Knit. It's got a little moon on the back. Sorry, I'm trying to show you that to you properly. It's got a moon on the back. It's got little stars all over it, which are super cute. At this point, I have memorized the pattern, and I haven't looked at it in probably a week, 2 weeks. Basically, I needed the chart for the moon. And once I got the hang of the stars, I didn't need the chart for that anymore. So I'm hoping to finish this before I leave, because I would like to be able to provide Brandy with decent pictures of it. She wants to release the pattern at Halloween, so I would like to have decent pictures and possibly have Sarah or Mandy model it on their foot. We'll see. Probably Mandy because it's pink. I'm just dropping everything right now. I rest my arms on my desk, and then when I move my arms, I pull whatever's on the desk off. So I'm going to have to clean my floor after this. So, that is the longest bath you have ever taken. I swear to God, you've been doing this for an hour. She's like, what? So, this is the Celestial Sock Test Knit for Brandy Miller. I've probably said Celestial Socks about 20 times now. It is knit out of Fleece Artist Trail Sock. I still have quite a bit left. I'm really impressed with how much is left. It's a sturdier sock yarn. It's not super soft, but I'm told it will soften quite a bit with washing, so I'm looking forward to that, because it is kind of, it's not scratchy to knit with, it's just very coarse. And it's making a much denser fabric than I'm accustomed to, which was why I experimented with the smaller needles. So this is knit on 2.25 millimeter needles, which is the US 1.5. No, this is the US 1. I usually knit with a 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle. And I'm finding that, so my experiment the other day, I told you I was going to be disjointed. My experiment the other day with the 2 different hand knit socks, one of the socks was knit out of 3 Irish Girls, and the other sock was knit out of Juliana's Fiber. Now, 3 Irish Girls is a very round, very sturdy sock yarn. The Adorn sock is, anyway. So that was, I could feel the pearl bumps, and it bothered me, and it hurt. In the arch of my foot, it really, I could really feel those pearl bumps, that it was painful. The Juliana's is a very smooth, very soft yarn, and it's not very rounded. It's a thinner yarn, but it's not a light it's not a light fingering. It's a fingering, but it's got a smoother feel to it. And those I didn't feel. I mean, I could after several hours of wearing the socks, but like they didn't bother me like the others. So apparently the yarn makes a big difference as to whether or not I'm going to be able to wear the socks or not. So now that I know that, because that never occurred to me before, now that I know that, I'm going to be able to knit myself socks that I will actually wear. This, unfortunately, I'm not sure is the sock yarn for that, but maybe the smaller needle size will help with that. So we'll find out after I'm finished the sock. One of those days. So anyway, I'm really loving this test knit, and I wish I had more bus knitting time. Sadly, I've only been knitting this on the bus because it's portable, it's small, it fits in doesn't fit in my purse anymore. My mom actually bought me a purse for my birthday, and it's considerably smaller. I probably could fit a knitting project in here, but I have so much stuff in here already that I have a little notebook back here. In here I have my wallet and my diabetes testing kit, and in here I have my keys and my cell phone. So although it's it's a sizable purse, I could probably fit a knitting project in here. Yeah, I probably could, because I have a snack in here for yesterday too. So I likely could fit a sock project in there, I just haven't done it yet. But so this comes in my tote bag that I bring to work every day, and people just look at me funny while I'm knitting on the bus, and so that's my bus knitting, and it's been woefully neglected this week, and I'm really hoping to finish it by Rhinebeck. The other knitting I've done, there's been more knitting. I'm super excited. I have taken this out. I have started working on section 3, and I'm loving it so far. Look at that. It goes this way, right side up, but my needle isn't really long enough to really show you. So the original, what I had already, was just a big crescent, and yeah, my needle is nowhere near long enough, so it's just a big crescent at this point. And section 3 uses short rows to sort of add to the side of the crescent. Where is the pattern? I'll find a good picture. So this is the Color Affection by Vera Valimaki, and this is the section, no, over here, that I've started here. I'm right up here. So you can see how it's going to sort of just connect with the rest of the crescent, and it's a fantastic pattern. The first row had me a little confused because I wasn't reading it correctly, but Tanya sorted me out. Tanya is Celestia22 on Ravelry, and she is the pattern whisperer, and if you're having a problem with the pattern, she will look at it and go, oh, just do this, and I'll be like, oh. So she sorted me out and got me started again. So this is my Night Owl Fibers shawl. It's 3 different colors of Night Owl Fibers. There's these are stripes, hang on, I'm upside down. So this teal up here with little pops of orange in it is Rusty Hook. The orange further down here, that's striped with the teal, you can see it a little bit more at the edges, that it's striped. There, that end. So you can see here that the teal is striped with the orange. The orange is Pumpkin Spice Latte, and then down here I started with the brown, finally, which I'm loving, and the brown is called Leather Boots. So these are 3 different colors of Night Owl Fibers. This is the Pumpkin Spice Latte. This is the Rusty Hook, and unfortunately Leather Boots fell behind my monitor a few minutes ago. So this is the Leather Boots. And once I'm done this section, it's just a solid band of leather boots, and I'm very much looking forward to it because it's super pretty. I love this yarn. So it's been really fun to knit, and I picked it up again because I was feeling guilty that I hadn't worked on it. We'll see if I manage to finish both those things before Rhinebeck. It's not going to happen. Well, it likely won't happen. And I was surprised. I didn't look at this bag the other day when I was looking for my color affection because I thought there was no way it would fit. But I'm using a bag that Little Creek Designs, my friend Selma made for me. All three of those balls and the shawl fit in here easily with the pattern. Like, everything fits. It's a TARDIS bag. It's bigger on the inside. So it's got this lovely cheerful orange fabric on the inside, and I just love the colors. Selma has amazing color sense. Anyway, if you have not checked out Little Creek Designs, there's a podcast, there's an Etsy shop. Go check them out. Sorry, Little Big Knits is the podcast. The Etsy shop is different than that. It's not Little Big Knits. And now I feel really bad because I can't remember her Etsy shop name. Little Creek Designs, CA. So Little Creek Designs, CA. Sorry, there's a tag in the back of my shirt that I have not yet cut out. It's bugging me. So Little Creek Designs is her Etsy shop. Go check her out. I think she may be on a short break right now. She's had a pretty crazy summer, and if you want to hear about that, she just posted a new podcast episode on Monday. So go check that out. So that's done on a 4.5 millimeter needle, which is US 7. And there's more knitting. It's almost like I had time to myself a little bit this week. Well, last night, anyway. So I brought the behemoth back out because this is the only way I'm getting points right now for Pigskin Party. I haven't finished a damn thing, and most of the projects I have are works in progress, so they don't count for Pigskin Party. The sock is going to count. Well, the pink socks, the celestial socks are going to count. The color affection is not going to count. So anyway, she's still there? Nope, she moved. Those are 2 of the 8 pumpkins I currently have that I need to cook. They're pie pumpkins, so I cook with them. So I've added 3 squares to my blanket this week. This one I added last night. This one is from my last pair of socks. It's Nova Sock Print in colorway 174. It's a nice little workhorse yarn. I'm really enjoying it, and I have to find a pair of socks so I can wash them. I have an idea where they are. I've cleaned most of the house, didn't clean my bedroom, which is where all the dirty laundry is. So that's my Nova Sock Print. This is an unknown. I have no idea what this is. If you have a clue, let me know. That's there's neon yellow in there, there's green, there's blue, there's neon pink. It's not sparkle, it's light from the window. There's some dark purple and teal and white and light blue, and it's like all the colors, and it's super bright and it's super pretty. There we go, it focused. If you have an idea what this is, let me know, because I don't know where it came from. It was just in my notions pouch. And then this is a lovely muted square next to it. I did this on purpose, these 2 together. This is Knit Picks Palette in silver, and it's from my friend Crystal, and I thought it was just perfect next to that super bright crazy square. So that's what I've done this week. This blanket is based on the Knitted Patchwork Recipe by Martine Ellis and the Memories blanket by Georgie Nicholson. It's done on a 2.75 millimeter, which is US 2. I cast on 40 stitches per square, just in case you were, wondering and wanted to make your own. I'm almost on row 6. Right now it's just a really, really big, huge, comfy scarf. And maybe eventually it will become a blanket, but I don't care. It's really pretty as a scarf. It will get worked on. It'll get bigger. It might take a few decades. Who knows? I have a lot of minis, so I'm good to go for a little while. I actually just pulled these out of my dresser this morning because I wanted to add them to the blanket. These are from Holly, who is the Holly, and who will be at Rhinebeck with me next week. Yay! I miss Holly. I don't get to see her anywhere near enough because we're both kind of hermity. She goes out a lot, though, for a hermit. But she does enjoy her alone time, and we'll go out alone places. I generally won't go out alone. I'll go out if I have somebody to go out with. So all that to tell you, I am heavily prepping for Rhinebeck this week. I'm packing, I'm doing laundry, I'm cleaning, I'm prepping for Rhinebeck. I'm going to try and make some pumpkin muffins for the road and for the cabin. And I have to make a batch of pumpkin soup because I'm big craving pumpkin soup that I made last year. So I need to make some more. Basically, it's just 2 pumpkins, some chicken broth, some cardamom pods, which I put in a little tea filter bag, because that way I don't have to worry about eating them. Some peppercorns, which also go in the little tea filter bag, some coconut milk, and a little bit of salt. And that's my pumpkin soup. It's delicious, and I really want some. I made a vegetable soup earlier this week that was just a dump soup, like it was a bottle of bacon-flavored clamato, because that looked interesting and I wanted to try it. A can of sliced potatoes. I generally don't buy canned vegetables, but they were on sale for $4, so I picked some up. It was a can of potatoes, a can of mushrooms, a can of corn, peaches and cream corn, which apparently doesn't exist in the States. It's just called sweet corn, apparently. And a can of little baby corn chopped up. So that all went in the pot. I didn't even add any spices, which is sad because it's a bland soup. I'm a little sad I didn't put any spices in it because, yeah, it was all right, but it wasn't as good as something I put effort into. I literally dumped all the cans in one morning when I was getting ready for work, hit the soup button on the Instant Pot, and took a bowl of soup to work. So I much prefer the soups where I actually think out what I'm doing. For Thanksgiving last weekend, I was on soup duty. My uncle asked me to make a batch of cauliflower soup. So I got creative and I made a ginger lemongrass cauliflower soup that was to die for. It was 2 large heads of cauliflower. I think I had 2 quarts of chicken broth, 2 or 3, some lemongrass, some fresh ginger, about a 2-inch knob chopped up. The lemongrass I pulled out before I pureed it, but the ginger stayed in. I don't know if you could actually eat lemongrass, and it's very tough and woody, so I didn't want to try to puree it. But it was delicious, and it was very popular, and my uncle has several jars in his freezer now, because I made a really big batch. And this was the first time we'd ever had soup at Thanksgiving dinner. He specifically requested it, so I was like, okay. Anyway, you don't need to know all about my soup adventures. So next episode will be somewhat late. I will be recording some at Rhinebeck. I'm going to try and take little videos during the day with my phone, and I'm going to be recording an actual episode, probably in my room at the cabin. But it won't be posted until I get back here because there's no signal out there. There's no internet, there's no signal, there's nothing. We stay in cabins in Phoenicia, New York, which is in the mountains, and which is not good for self-service. There is Wi-Fi at the motel next door, but our cabins don't have Wi-Fi, so it's hit or miss whether we even get enough signal to run the GPS on the phone, not the actual GPS. My actual GPS is so old that it doesn't know that place exists. I need to buy a new one, maybe. So the episode will be posted likely Monday night next week when I get back. Because we're leaving first thing Friday morning. We're staying until Monday morning. So I should be back around dinner time on Monday. Sorry, I know I've been fine all week. Right now, because I'm sitting here talking, I'm like getting super congested and post-nasal drip and all that stuff. So I'm trying not to choke on it. A little bit, or sniffle annoyingly. So I actually do have some stash to show you guys this week. I'm looking down because my show notes are sitting on the keyboard in front of me. I got some stash this week. I did not purchase the stash. Carl and Ellie of Bijou Basin contacted me, and through Stitchcraft Marketing, I have a friend, Stephanie, who works there. Kat, what are you doing? What are you doing? She just knocked over something over there. I'm not sure exactly what. Did you actually knock over an entire chair? Stupid cat. So they contacted me and said that they wanted to help support the new podcast. I'm going to take this off now because I'm getting rather warm. And so, oof, that was not good for my hair. Carl said that he would like me to choose a yarn and that he would like to send it to me to test as a way of supporting the new podcast. So Carl is super awesome. So is Ellie. They are fabulous people. If you get the chance, if you're at Rhinebeck, to go chat with Carl, go chat with Carl. Carl's amazing. They're both really, really amazing people, and I'm really lucky to have developed an acquaintanceship with them. They are fantastic, and I love them. So he told me to choose a yarn, and I also chose a pattern and purchased it that was designed for this yarn. So this is rolling into our Bijou Basin Cal, which is coming up next week. We're going to be starting at the Saturday of Rhinebeck, so I will not be casting this on until I get to Rhinebeck. I received this lovely, lovely skein of Tibetan Dream, which is an 85 yak 15 nylon fingering weight yarn. It is so soft. So soft. And you wouldn't think that this little cake, this teeny little thing, would have 400 yards of yarn in it, but it does. So it's 400 yards per skein. This is a special indie dyer set that they have. This is dyed by Andy Modisett of Mode Knit Yarns. And maybe I'm pronouncing her name wrong all this time. Maybe it's Modisett. I don't know. I knew an author years ago who pronounced it Modisett, so that's how I've been pronouncing it for her, but maybe that's not how she says it. I don't know. Maybe that's why she's called Mode Knit. Anyway, this is called Black to Green Flow. There you go. You can see a better idea of the colors. It's basically a gorgeous, gorgeous green that fades into a gray that goes down to charcoal and then comes back down out to the green. So I'm super looking forward to starting this project. I pulled up a picture on my phone. We'll see if it works. Yes, it does. So this is the Flirt Shawlette by Heidi Sharp. And that's the pattern that I'm going to be knitting. The way the cowl is going to work is that any Bijou Basin yarn, any pattern designed for Bijou Basin, so any pattern that appears on their site, any Modisett yarn, sorry, I'm going to have to ask her now. She's a Facebook friend of mine, and I've never asked her how to pronounce her last name. Any Modisett pattern. Any one of those 4 elements, or if you have extra elements, great. You can participate in the cowl. The cowl is going to go from Saturday, October 20th, right up until December 31st at midnight. So the prizes, and I moved them. The book is over there. So I have a book by Annie Modisett, a pattern book, and I will be getting something at the Bijou Basin booth at Rhinebeck for prizes. I have to pull my minis out of this bag because I went and tossed all my random minis that were sitting on my desk in the bag. It was all wrapped all nice and pretty, and my VKN girls pressured me into opening it. I was like, should I open it? And they're like, yes. So I did it. There was no pressure involved. So because no package from Carl ever comes just with one thing in it, they also sent me this adorable little stitch marker from Knitting Markers by Chappie. I believe there's a shop information down there. Sorry, I'll move this. So it's Chappie's, come on, Arts and Crafts on eBay. It's a really sweet little stitch marker. It's got a little purple bead and a little pink bead on it. I got 2 bumper stickers, one of which will be going to you with the prize pack. Got their little postcard that they send with everything, which I love. And they sent me a little to-do pad, which is going to be included with your prize, because why not throw in the super cute extras they sent? So some of this stuff is going to be sent with the prize pack. Some of it I'm keeping. This one's going on my card today. So that's what Carl sent me. That's my stash, and that's the Cal rundown. So if you have not yet signed up for, I don't think anybody has actually technically signed up for the Cal. A couple of people have said they're going to participate, but nobody's actually signed up. There is a thread in the group. I'm sorry, you do have to be a member of Ravelry to participate. Sorry, Enid. We'll get you on Ravelry yet. She's like, no, you won't. So you do have to be a member of the group to join the Cal. And anything that you cast on the Saturday of Rhinebeck and finish by 31st of December will be included. There will be one prize drawn. There, I may do a participation prize with a pattern, but the actual mailed out prize, there's just going to be one. So I think I'm going to do a participation prize for anybody who participates, whether you finish your project or not. And that's going to be a pattern that's featured on Bijou Basin Ranch's site. So there will be, you know, two ways to win. You can either win by participating, or you can win by finishing a project and being in the draw for that. There will be a separate faux thread that I will open up once the Cal is actually started. So the current thread, I would prefer to be the chatter thread. There's not going to be any chatter permitted in the faux thread. So that's the basics. So I'm not sure if I told you guys who the designer was. It's the Flirt Shawlette by Heidi Sharp. If I had not mentioned it before, there you go. I've mentioned it now. So the last thing I have to talk about is what I've been watching this week. As you may have guessed, I haven't had a whole heck of a lot of viewing time. So I've only watched 3 more episodes of S.H.I.E.L.D. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm still one off from being able to watch the next movie, which I think is Avengers 2. I'm not sure. It's either Avengers 2 or it's Captain America Winter Soldier. One of those two. So I have one more episode of that to watch. But I was super excited this week because although, you know, I have my regular crop of podcasts that pop up every week. There's Must Love Yarn that have one pretty much every week. There's Knit Girls, who I swear to God record every 3 days. I've seen a Bakery Bears episode pop up. I've seen a Cherry Hearts podcast episode pop up. But I got super, super excited this week because on Monday, Selma posted a new episode. Yay! I meant to watch it on my lunch hour on Tuesday, but then work went nuts for the rest of the week, so I actually ended up watching it yesterday. Well, part of it on Friday and part of it yesterday. I've missed her face. I got to go to lunch with her about a week and a half ago, so at least I get to see her once in a while, but I do really love her podcast. I find it very informative and very relaxing, and it's just fun to watch. The other one that popped up this week that I was super excited about was Kate at Hawthorne Cottage Crafts. Yay, Kate! I'm saving that one for when I get home this afternoon because I have to drive my kids to my niece's house for Thanksgiving lunch. So I am saving Kate's episode, but there is a new Hawthorne Cottage Craft episode. Sorry, Hawthorne Cottage Craft. I almost said Hawthorne Pottage Cast something. Sorry about that. George started throwing up on the couch. You fail as a cat. Nope, she's over there looking somewhat ashamed of herself. So I cut that off because, ew, nobody needed to listen to that. So anyway, I'm very much looking forward to Rhinebeck. I will see any of you who happen to be there. I will be at the podcaster meetup at 1 o'clock on the Big Hill. I may be there for the Ravelry meetup at noon. I'm not sure. Depends how early we get there and what all I'm doing and whether or not I can be reliably relied upon to check the time. Generally, that's a no, but I'll try. So I will be on the Big Hill at 1 o'clock. And if you see me, come say hi. I will give you a button. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. I have missed everybody. I have really missed Rhinebeck itself. I love Rhinebeck. It is the one thing I look forward to all year. And if you can't be there, I'm going to send you big squishy hugs from Rhinebeck. And if you are there, come say hi. I am so super stoked for this. So now I have to go do some laundry and cook some pumpkins. Otherwise, there will not be any pumpkin muffins. And I will see you guys next week, although a little bit later next week. So remember, Monday night. Have a great week. Bye.